Another flight departs. Air transportation has proved to be one of the most widely used across the world. It is also the most expensive. In spite of its significantly higher cost compared to other means, many Nigerians prefer to travel by air because it is convenient, modern, and quick. Those who can't afford it wish they can. In recent years, however, Nigeria's aviation sector has been plagued by incessant flight delays at best and outright cancellations at worst, sometimes leading to disruptions and life-changing consequences. Worse still, compensation is a rarity. Data from Nairametrics indicate that 795 domestic flights were cancelled in 2022 alone, while 82 international flights were also cancelled. This is nearly 300 flight cancellations, more than in 2021. It gets worse, not better. 39-year-old Marcus Ulobo represents Esan West, Esan Central, and Igwebe constituency in the House of Representatives. In July 2023, Onobu's flight from Benin to Abuja was abruptly cancelled.
I was meant to return back on Monday, considering the fact that Tuesday is a sitting day and other sitting days of the week, only to receive the shocking news of the cancellation of the flight by aero contractors on Monday, 17th day of July. I made efforts to get other flights like Air Peace and Green Africa because it was the Benin Abuja route, to no avail because the flights on that route were fully booked. In fact, as a matter of fact, the Green Africa flight that they promised they would be able to put me on at about 7 a.m. on the 18th. It was a rainy day, actually left in my presence.
After missing plenary once and faced with the prospect of missing another, he was forced to get on the road and was involved in a ghastly motor accident. 1 year after, he still carries metal in his right leg, unsure if he would ever walk normally again.
Because of the condition of my leg, I choose to fly business class. And you find that on getting to the airport, I booked, that business class for my own comfort and convenience. Only to get to the airport, they tell you that, the airplane that is flying does not have business class and it's an all-economy flight. And nobody is giving apologies. Your money is not refunded. So it's some kind of very dubious activities going on. And the best you'll be told is that when next you are flying, they'll give you 50% reduction. And by the time you are flying next time, you refer them to that ticket you had, and they say they'll give 50% reduction. They'll tell you they have to clear from their headquarters. If you are not flying, let another passenger take your space.
Onobu is only one of many Nigerians daily subjected to such damage, huge losses, and missed opportunities due to the unethical practices of airline operators in Nigeria. Most of them declined to speak. There are several reasons for flight cancellations all over the world, including weather, mechanical issues, scarcity of aviation fuel, and security, to mention a few. The frequency of these cancellations in Nigeria and poor communication, however, suggests there could be other sinister reasons. I asked an airline worker, I'll call her Nana Ishaya. We are disguising her identity to protect her.
When you are supposed to do Lagos-Abuja and the aircraft to do Lagos-Abuja breaks down, and you check your Lagos-Owerri, which has an aircraft scheduled to it already, and is having 50 passengers, when you have 120 passengers on Lagos to Abuja, decisions has to be made to cancel one to be able to satisfy the other one.
When you have schedule more than the aircraft, one aircraft going around and you put a flight very close. Before the aircraft turn around and come back to the station, the time have elapsed you schedule for that flight. So definitely there will be a delay.
Attempts to speak with airline operators on the matter are unsuccessful. One of the first things you see on the website of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, is passengers' rights. The right to compensation for flight cancellation, delays,
damage or loss of baggage, and denied boarding.
But is it being enforced? Michael Achimugu is Director at Public Affairs and Consumer Protection.
For faults that are those of the airlines themselves, there have been penalties for them. There have been penalties which result in compensation. You also want to be careful and manage these things well. Nigeria has very few airlines operating. If you want to put all of them out of business because of these disruptions, how are people going to travel?
Some analysts agree that Nigerians fail to complain when unfairly treated by airlines, while others suggest that the regulatory agency is rather weak.
When you have a delay, it is not the airline that will report itself. It is the passengers. But the passengers, before reporting to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, you write to them, a flight was delayed, and based on this, you want some compensation, you want refund on your ticket. If the response from the airline is not favorable, then you take the response and your mail and proceed to the NCA to present your case.
The deterrence to get them not do what is wrong is not there. Elsewhere, if an airline for any reason fails to do a flight or delays people for more than 2 hours, they pay. They don't even wait for you to ask for the payment. They pay because it's cheaper for them to pay at that point. Otherwise, if it comes to a situation where a passenger or a group of passengers make trouble and then make a demand, they get what is known as punitive fine.
Perhaps it's a combination of both. At the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FTCC, it turns out that the aviation sector is a major source of consumer complaints.
Aviation is the second highest in number of complaints that we receive in FTCC. The number one position is still being held by electricity. We want to have consequences for bad behavior. And that's the only way things are going to work in this country. And we believe that there is enough deterrence as spelled out by the law. The application is not the issue.
One thing that unites analysts, however, is that the Nigerian aviation industry has some way to go in catching up with global standards. While at it, many more like Marcus Onobu will continue to bear the scars of an aviation sector that won't play by the rules. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.